Today, I will tell you a detailed story about the life of Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great was the king of ancient Macedonia and one of the greatest military leaders in history. One of the most important pieces of information about the life of Alexander the Great is his family and education. Alexander was the son of three. Philip, one of the most important leaders of Macedonia. Philip worked hard to make Macedonia a powerful state, and Alexander played a great role in this process. Alexander was trained to be a military leader by his father from the day he was born. According to legend, it is said that he killed a lion when he was still a child. However, the military education he actually received prepared him for his future successes. Alexander observed how his father led Macedonia to have a powerful army. His father established the Tsarisa, the royal guard unit, and modernized the army while developing new warfare techniques. Alexander followed in his father's footsteps by learning these techniques. Alexander also read and studied Homer's Iliad, one of the most important works that rulers and commanders were required to read. He received education from famous philosophers like Aristotle and gained extensive knowledge about culture and science. Yes, one of the greatest turning points in Alexander's life was being specially trained by the famous philosopher Aristotle. While free, Philip, his father, ensured that Alexander received a good military education. He also made sure to benefit from famous philosophers like Aristotle for his overall education. Aristotle came to Pella upon the invitation of the Macedonian king, Philip III, and accepted Alexander as his student. While being educated by Aristotle, Alexander learned the best examples of Greek philosophy. Aristotle's teachings helped Alexander develop a philosophical framework and make better decisions in his future leadership positions. Thanks to Aristotle's education, Alexander progressed towards becoming a leader who left his mark on world history. Acquiring a philosophical perspective enabled Alexander to become not only a military leader but also a visionary leader in cultural and scientific aspects. Thanks to the education he received from Aristotle, Alexander did not only rely on military power to conquer the world, but also took into account cultural and scientific developments. For example, during his time in Egypt, Alexander explored local culture and science and made many important discoveries. After the death of his father, Philip III, Alexander ascended to the throne of Macedonia and quickly seized control of Greece. Following in his father's footsteps, Alexander strengthened Macedonia into a powerful state and modernized his army. Later, Alexander waged war against the Persian Empire. The Persian Empire was the largest empire in the world at the time, and Alexander's victory over it made him one of the greatest military leaders in history. Alexander's military victories were not limited to the defeat of his enemies. He was also a leader who brought different cultures and beliefs together. After seizing the Persian Empire, Alexander recruited people from different nations and cultures into his army. He trained them not only militarily but also culturally. Alexander shared his knowledge with different cultures and created an atmosphere of understanding and tolerance among his soldiers. Alexander's cultural leadership was also reflected in the creation of a cultural, linguistic, and trade region called the Alexander Empire. After capturing the capital of the Persian Empire, Persepolis, Alexander refused to plunder the city and showed respect for Persian culture. Additionally, he brought Greek and Macedonian culture to the region. The Alexander Empire became a mosaic created by the interaction of different cultures, and it served as a bridge between Eastern and Western cultures. Alexander also contributed to the development of fields such as science and philosophy in the empire he created. In particular, the philosophy of his teacher Aristotle had a great influence during Alexander's reign. Alexander supported and encouraged the work of scientists and philosophers in the region. As a result, many scientific and philosophical works were produced in the Alexander Empire. İskender'in cultural liturgy, farklı kültürler arasında anlayış ve hoşgörüyü tespit etmesi, İskender İmparatorluğu'nun cultural zenginlik halen gelmesi ve bilim ve felsefenin gelişmesi gibi etkiler bugün bil hatırlanmaktadır. Alexander's life started with a difficult period from the moment he was born. His father, King Philip III, was assassinated when Alexander was still a child. This event was a turning point in Alexander's life because he was expected to take the throne, but he was too young, and powerful people around him fought for the succession. However, Alexander was a determined leader and successfully overcame this difficult period. When Alexander declared war against the Persian Empire, he faced great challenges. The Persians had the largest empire in the world, and Alexander had to fight for years to conquer their territories. In addition, the Persians' military tactics were quite effective against Alexander, and he had to constantly change his battle plans and develop new military strategies. However, the end of Alexander's life was also extremely difficult and dramatic. Alexander died at the age of 32 after falling ill. His death sparked many speculations, and some historians believe that he was poisoned. Alexander's death led to the fragmentation and strife within his empire. As a result, Alexander's life was filled not only with victories but also with challenges and dramatic events. Nevertheless, he demonstrated courage, determination, and leadership throughout his life and earned an unforgettable place in history. Indeed, the life of Alexander the Great is a fascinating subject for anyone interested in history and leadership. His war strategies, leadership skills, and cultural influence are still being studied and appreciated today. His story, with its challenges and achievements, will continue to inspire future generations. This was the story of Alexander the Great. Thank you to my channel and give the video a like.